Alright, we should be live. Whoa. Test 1, 2. Alright, we should be good. What's up, everyone? We live? Why is YouTube looking weird right now? Let me see real quick. What's up, John? Alright, let's see. How come my preview is not working on YouTube side of things? Yes, live. Okay, we are good. Let me know if there's like any lag or anything. For some reason, my YouTube panel is not showing the preview. But yes, John, I will bring up your photo of your graphics cards that make me jealous in a second here. I need to get logged into my Discord and everything on my window. First, though, was Stang 2007. What's up, Stang? Then we got Coalition Gaming Chris in the house. What's up? Jason Whitmer says, if I do not start stream tonight shirtless, he's unsubbing. So it looks like he's unsubbing. Let's see. We got Craig Lilly in the house. Kale130 as always. Let's see. We got Shauner who says 6800 XT for the win. Kind of. And I'm going to talk about that. 6800 for the win, or AMD naming scheme being weird for the lose, right? Either way, yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. Got a lot to talk about with regards to all the graphics card releases and things like that. Cammy Hudson says Hub and J were decent for the 7800 XT. Since I have a 6600 XT, do I upgrade or need to upgrade? Cammy, weren't you the one who listed off a bunch of graphics cards that you had? Didn't you already have something that's in the performance range of a 7800 XT? I don't remember off the top of my head, but are you just, because it seemed like you were collecting graphics cards more than actually using them. And it's not as simple as saying the 7800 XT and 6800 XT are similar cards, because 7800 XT, if they're both going to be the same price or even within like 10-20 bucks, it's the obvious choice to get. AB1 encoding, as well as, you know, just slightly longer driver support. And then we don't know, with regards to all the new features that AMD plans to release, if they will interact better with the newer cards with regards to like FSR3, the Hyper stuff and all that. So the Hyper RX, all that. FG204 says, I like what I saw from the 7700 XT. I also liked what I saw because I actually had it hands-on. Obviously, it gets a little bit overshadowed by the 7800 XT being only $50 price difference, or 10%. And we talked about this a little bit last stream, but now that the hard numbers are out, it gets overshadowed, but it doesn't make it a bad card, right? It's like sometimes people go and buy the medium fries from McDonald's when the large fry is only like a 50-cent upcharge, because it's still slightly cheaper and they don't need the large fries. Now, most people would probably get the large fries. Like, I'm a person who gets the large fries. But there are plenty of people out there who do buy the small and medium fries individually, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Danny Carbajal says, starting right on time is some nerdy stuff. You should be like a minute early next time. You know what? It's funny. I sit here waiting for 5 p.m. to roll around before I hit stream. I don't know. Sometimes I'm here like 10-15 minutes early. I don't know if people would rather me start early. I think it's kind of like an expectation type of thing, right? Because some people, they plan out their day. And I guess it's not that many people, right? It's like we have thousands or millions of viewers here. But it's enough where some people plan up till 5 o'clock to do their own thing until they hit the get ready for stream. So I don't want to start streams early and then we talk about important stuff and then they join in a little bit late, if that makes sense. It's kind of like an expectation type of thing. Even though, I mean, I don't know how many people would prefer it to start earlier versus to start right on time, but with the live stream, it's a little bit different than watching a video, because you want to be in the moment, being able to interact with not only the streamer, but also the chat based on what's going on. And then, sure, you could rewind like, you know, 10 minutes or something, because YouTube is awesome and lets you rewind streams, but then you're not lined up with chat. So Joe says, hello Danny, how are you, young man? Thank you for making me feel like I'm still young. Sometimes I'm starting to feel old lately in terms of like getting sore easier and stuff like that. Like throwing out my back or throwing out parts of my bodies when I do something stupid that I'm not supposed to. I feel like if it's just small talk starting at 10 minutes early, sometimes it will be bad. I would agree with you there, but I feel like sometimes our small talks could easily get like into more deep talk, right? Or into more thorough discussions. So yeah, I guess if it's mostly me reading comments and like even right now as I'm reading the comments, I'm already starting to talk about the 7800 XT and 7700 XT, which I want to wait at least 10 or 15 minutes for people to get in to talk about. But I've already started talking about it a little bit. It's really hard, you know, just because if chat starts talking about like a big topic, I can easily just go right into it. Hey, what's up, Chris? Joe, compared to yes. Compared to a 63-year-old, I am about a little bit older than half that age. Yes, true. Broku X says, I will continue to use my 6900 XT for a couple of generations. Yeah, 6900 XT is still a really solid card for the price. It does have pretty high power draw though. It's what, 200? Oh no, it's like 330, 340 watts, right? Compared to all these, like the newer cards coming out are like around the lower to mid 200s. So it's like up to a 100-ish watt difference. To some people that doesn't matter, but to others it does, both the heat and the electricity costs. Chase Atwood says, bought a 4070 on Monday, still satisfied with my purchase. 4070s, when I just checked this morning, have not budged in price. They did budge 4060 Ti 16GB prices in order to compete, because it was a really bad look compared to both of the AMD cards, but they haven't touched the 4070, which I feel like they should. And we'll take a look at the numbers later, but they have a $600 card come in only kind of just like a little bit better than a $450 card. That's a 33% price hike for not 33% performance increase. HM says the 7800 XT is disappointing. How do you figure that? It is performing pretty much on par with what is already existing, if that makes sense. So in that regard, it's disappointing, but it's not a bad card by any means. Like, I guess disappointing. I understand now. You could be disappointed by it, but still recommend it as a card. Like, I think it's a card that you can still recommend, but I think it's the naming thing that messed it up. Because it performs so close to the 6800 XT, they expect it to perform that much better, but price-wise, they're the same price almost. New 6800 XTs are what, 480 to 500 bucks if you look on Newegg and Amazon, and that's how much the 7800 XT is. So AMD just did a weird thing with their naming scheme. If you take the naming scheme out though, and you just look at the performance for how much it costs, it is in line with what people already considered pretty good value, right? People were already saying 6700 XT, 6800 XT. Prior to these cards releasing, they were saying those are a good value card, price to performance. So a card coming out at the same price as the 6800 XT at the same performance level, except now I guess with AB1 encoding, that you can't say that's a bad card, but you could say it's disappointing just based on the naming scheme itself. These kids who say they're disappointed at the 7800 XT still using a GT 710. Dang. Jason with the burns. At least the 7800 will get FSR 3. So FSR 3 technically is gonna be coming to all cards, right? If I was watching that AMD announcement video from Gamescom correctly, I thought all the features that they were gonna put in were also backwards compatible to previous gen cards of all brands. So I mean, that doesn't make it that special if the 6000 and 5000 and other cards prior to it also get the features, unless it somehow is more efficient with it, right? Just like with FSR, I was using FSR on like, or I had the option to use FSR on like HD 7000 series cards from 10 years ago. Doesn't mean it works as well as it does with like a current gen card. So there's that. How come Miranda is always blurred out in videos? Miranda, that's the first I've heard for Melissa's name. Why is she always blurred out in videos? So my wife, Melissa, is blurred out in videos per her request. She is a more private, kind of keeps to herself type of person. And just with how the internet is these days, you know, once you're out on the internet, you're out there forever. And the internet can be a kind of cruel place. So I do all the social media, online, YouTubing stuff, but she doesn't necessarily want to be put out there in all my videos and stuff like that. So it's just me respecting her privacy, and now it's become kind of like a running gag or meme on the channel where she has a blurred face. So yeah, no worries, no worries. But that's the reason why, out of respect and privacy for my wife. Have you seen what's been going on with Dylan Danis and Logan Paul's fiance and stuff like that? Now that's kind of like the extreme case, right? For anyone who follows influencer boxing or just, I guess, the world of... I don't follow Logan Paul or Dylan Danis, but I do follow boxing and influencer boxing. That's how I know about it. But yeah. Coalition Gaming says, same with my wife. Chris, haven't you shown Olga's face in videos and streams though? I don't recall you actively blurring her out, but I guess you don't put her in a lot of videos, so yeah. Will I ever get on a Misfits card? Dude, if Linus, I've said this before, if Linus puts on a tech content creator boxing event, I will be one of the first people to sign up. Trust me on that one. Danny, are you getting Starfield? So funny thing is, I did Starfield benchmarking, but I don't personally own Starfield yet because I'm trying to get it on a discount. I had to borrow a friend's account to test Starfield, but it's because I don't want to pay $70 for it. Either I'm going to buy a graphics card soon that comes with Starfield, or I'm going to try to buy a key off of someone who bought an AMD graphics card that doesn't want Starfield. I did play for a bit. That's how I chose my benchmarking segment in the video. But yeah, I don't own it on my own personal Steam account yet. Game Pass. Yeah. So there's Game Pass. So I had Game Pass for the last, I don't know, year and a half because we got it for one LAN party stories. And then I pretty much didn't use it at all. So I canceled it not too long ago. But yeah. And that was just because I was already paying for subscription in WoW, like when Diablo came out or any other game that I was playing. I already had games that I was playing enough where I wasn't making use of Game Pass, but I guess I could pick it up again. I need to own Starfield though, because I don't want to just carry a $15 subscription for Starfield, because I'm going to be testing it for, you know, years to come probably. So I need it, and I don't know if I care too much about any other games on Game Pass. So yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, John, the net guy, also content creator, does tech stuff as well. So he says, I paid $99 for it plus tax and only played it once before the actual release date, which is today, which is kind of funny. I was so close to also doing the same thing just to benchmark it, but I didn't because it turns out that quite a few of my friends were interested in the game and got it, so. Forza 8 is also going to be a game that I probably should update in the benchmarking suite out from Forza Horizon 5. So yeah, we'll see. Ayana? Is that how? I think that's supposed to say Ayana, even though you have the Mew sign on there, the micro. But Danny, thank you for what you do for fellow Americans. What do I do for fellow Americans? That sounds more serious than what I think I do for Americans. Send your Starfield donations now. No. I'm just gonna wait to get one of the game keys for like maybe $30 or something. I'm just weird that way. I know. Logan Paul, even with the knockout win, will hold it out. I'm excited to watch that, and I'm excited to watch Tommy Fury versus KSI because I don't think there's any way that KSI can win. Like, Tommy Fury after he rehydrates is huge. Plus, he's an actual professional boxer. KSI just swings wildly, and his boxing form is so horrible. And he's fought pretty much almost all no-name opponents, so. LAN party stories. I need like a 1 month. Love those videos. Seems like you have an awesome group of people. Yeah, for sure. Our LAN group is a very awesome group of people. I put in a comment above. CD key sites has it for less than $50. Might do the same. USA key. Yeah. So CD key sites have it for more than what I could probably get from it from GameSwap on Reddit or just from like Discord or something. I'm sure there are going to be people who are gonna buy AMD graphics cards who do not need Starfield and want to make some money back from it. So or if I need to buy a graphics card to build a friend a PC soon or something, I'll buy one that includes Starfield. Even the RX 6600, I believe, comes with Starfield. So yeah. Coalition Gaming Chris says, I'm gonna stand outside Micro Center waiting for people to walk out with 7800 XTs and ask them if they want their Starfield key. But do you have the graphics card to activate it, Chris? Because you do need, I think the key, like if you get the premium edition, you have to have, I mean, I think premium editions even came with the 6700 XT, so I guess it's not that hard to have hardware to be able to activate it. So, yeah. Yeah, sorry about all the influencer boxing talk, but that's just something that I actually follow pretty closely just because I follow boxing and I'm a content creator. But yeah, I think Dylan Danis is doing the best that he can to get kicked off the card or to have the fight canceled because we know for a fact he is just in this to run his mouth and he never actually wants to fight. Shauner, are you trying to sell any of those codes, by the way? Let me know if you're trying to sell a code. For a reasonable price, of course. Because the premium edition means kind of nothing to me now that early access is over. If you have any normal, non-premium codes that you want to sell, let me know. Theo Joe's your size. That could be a good fight. Avenge me. Also, I think me and Greg weigh about the same. Greg Salazar. And we know each other enough where I think we would both be comfortable for fun to hop in a boxing ring together. I think we weigh around the same weight. He's taller than me, but I think Greg's on the slimmer side. So around like the 135 to 140, I think, unless Greg gained weight. Greg has a big target. Yeah, Shauner, wait, I guess what are you going to do with the extra keys? Are you going... The only thing I can think of is to actually sell the keys. You don't need 3 keys. But does premium come with anything else? It comes with like the expansion and DLC, right? So yeah, I guess it is worth more. But yeah, if anyone is buying like a card that comes with a non-premium Starfield, hit me up if you're trying to sell it for a reasonable price. Okay, let's get started with the stream. It's been about 20 minutes. We've been chit-chatting for a while. Okay. So, overall thoughts. Man, we can run a bunch of polls tonight. Let me get on YouTube and everything on my browser. Okay. I think, yeah, just before I pull up the browser or anything, what are your guys' overall thoughts? I know people have been saying it, but now it's a dedicated time to start talking about the 700X XTX, XT, not XTX, sorry, and the 7700 XT, 7800 and 7700 XTs. What are your guys' overall thoughts of this launch? I'm gonna run a poll. And we're gonna answer it as if combined. Good. Let's see. Okay. Then bad. They only give me 4 options, but it's kind of like a spectrum, right? There's good. Okay is like slightly above, like right in the middle of being indifferent, and then underwhelming is slightly below that, and then bad is just straight up bad. If I had to vote on this, I would say it is. I would lean towards good of all these options. It's probably somewhere in between okay and good. Actually, no, we'll keep good because there's also great and amazing. And it definitely was not those. But I thought this was overall a good launch for AMD for these 2 cards that came in at those prices. So if you guys haven't seen yet, actually. Oh man, this video, I have a story to tell about this. Whoops. But yeah, if you guys have not seen yet, I did release a full video and I uploaded this one in 1440p 60 FPS. So if you want like more crispy, smooth game footage, which I'm gonna try to do moving forward, I need to get a better capture card though. I need one that can do up to 4K for any time I test it. But I have side-by-side comparison for 13 games. I did 3 ray tracing titles just because ray tracing is like, it's funny how there's so much talk of ray tracing, and like, if you look at all the games I test, and they're like modern and kind of hard to run games, like Assassin's Creed doesn't have ray tracing. Call of Duty, I think, only has like partial ray tracing. It's not even full ray tracing. Cyberpunk, of course, is the ray tracing poster child of Nvidia. Diablo 4 does not even have ray tracing. Far Cry doesn't have. Is this one that with DXR that's not like ray tracing, but it's like the DirectX version. Forspoken doesn't have it. Forza Horizon does have, I think, partial ray tracing integration, not full, like not like to a Cyberpunk level. Halo Infinite does not have. I think it has ray tracing shadows. It has partial ray tracing. Hogwarts has it. Spider-Man has it. Starfield did not have it. Last of Us did not have it. So it's like all this talk of ray tracing performance from Team Green fanboys and stuff like that, and not many titles even really fully support it. Sometimes they do partially support it with like ray trace shadows or stuff like that, but I don't know, that's not the same thing. All right, votes coming in. So more people than not say it's good and okay. David Clark, can you email me? It's nob@nerdbudget@gmail.com. You can see it. Here, I'll put it here. I'll pay you for it. I don't want to just take it for free. So if you can email me and we can talk about it for the Starfield key. And thank you for offering that, by the way. I want to give you some of your value or money back for the key. I don't want to just take it for free. I'll feel bad if I do. Did you use... Let's see. Chris says, did you use a new camera? So I have not used my new camera because that video was not... I haven't released a review yet. So, all right, this is what happened. I tested all 4 graphics cards. I did my full suite, all of this basically, leading up, the few days leading up to embargo lift. Then yesterday morning, based on the results that I initially got, I was like, this doesn't... How... I was getting that the 7700 XT was noticeably better than the 4070, and something looked off. I was like, there's no way this $450 card could be that much better than a $600 card from Nvidia. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong though. I was reinstalling drivers. I was, you know, trying different graphic settings and stuff like that. Turns out my initial round of testing, which I wasted like 2.5 to 3 days doing, I tested at PCIe Gen 1 configuration. I had done a previous video with my test bench where I was testing the PCIe gens, and I thought I changed it back to PCIe Gen 4. It was on PCIe Gen 1, and I found that out yesterday. So then, as soon as I found that out, I got back to retesting. I pulled an all-nighter. I didn't sleep until 7 a.m. this morning. Because, yeah, I had to retest and re-edit. These edits take a long time to do. Because I'm putting all the numbers on the screen, I'm putting the text, I'm doing the little scrolling bar thing. I have to line up all the footage so that they start and end at the same time. So I finished, I think, testing at 3 a.m. And then I spent the next 3 hours editing it, trying to get it out by embargo. But I couldn't get it out at embargo time, so I released it at 7 a.m. I was about an hour late, I think. So yeah, that was my morning, trying to get results out, which kind of sucks. So I will never forget that again. Here's the crazy thing. I'm going to show you. So let's take a look at like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, right? So by the end of the run, you're looking at, you know, 107 FPS average with 78 FPS there. So I'm going to show you what the PCIe Gen 1 results look like. I'm going to pull it up right now. See, benchmarks. So Assassin's Creed 7700 XT. Come on. Can I put this on here? All right. This is the Gen 1 PCIe Gen 1 run right here. Take a look at the numbers. First of all, would you even be able to tell that this was running at PCIe Gen 1? Because I wouldn't be able to tell. Look, the numbers look pretty reasonable, given the price of the card, given the approximate performance level. It's running at better than 105. Here, let me go to near the end of the run. Yeah, so near the end of the run, it's still well above, you know, very reasonable average FPS, very reasonable 1% lows. And then I was usually at the end of the runs, I don't show these in the videos, but I always capture the settings, and you can tell this is a 7700 XT because it hadn't been officially released yet, so it doesn't show up as the actual card in here. But yeah, here's me. I'm running it at 1440p at the ultra high preset. But look at that. How was I supposed to know that I was still running PCIe Gen 1 based on the results I was seeing? This is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So I had tested, and then I'll show you the 4070. Here's the 4070 results too. So here's the 4070. Like, looking at these numbers, how can you tell that the graphics card or the motherboard was running on PCIe Gen 1 and not Gen 4, right? So yeah, I had to scrap all of my testing and redo it, and it was a pain. The fan would have been louder. No, so that's actually not true. If you look at, let me see if I can find it. So if you look at the power consumption, let me see if I can pull up the 4070 not messed up results. So I'm going to pull up the updated benchmarks. But what happened is, when it's running at PCIe Gen 1, it actually uses less power. Across the board, I was noticing once I reran the results, the power consumption of every graphics card, because it is, you know, there's more bandwidth going through, there's more frames being pumped, it was using more power at the proper PCIe Gen 4 rating. So yeah. Yeah, so I was thinking about doing that, Chris. It's not a waste of time. So I already have a video planned. That's why I messed up and had PCIe Gen 1 in the first place. I have a video where I test the 4060 across Gen, not only just 1 and 4, but also 3 and 2. So I have all the data for that. I just need to get that video out. But I was thinking, like, what if I just also did another video for this one showing how close the performance is? Which is kind of crazy, right? People make such a big deal when graphics cards come out and they're like they have limited, you know, PCIe bandwidth. But when you look at it, it's not like it's game-breaking performance. Yeah, you do get performance losses, but even going from Gen 4 to Gen 1, I mean, let's look at these just completely side by side. You're looking at 100. So in Assassin's Creed, it actually was barely a difference. You're looking at 103 versus 106 FPS. Oh wait, no, this is, sorry, these are two different graphics cards. Let me pull up the same one. I'll pull up the 7700 XT correct one. So where is it at? 7700 XT Assassin's Creed. Here it is. All right, so near the end of this one, you're looking at 106.78. So yeah, the average FPS ended up being the same. The 1% lows did get better though. Yeah. Yeah, so you're right. You can tell by the so let me see. So frame time here. Can you guys see my arrow? Yeah, so frame time is a little bit more jagged, but depending on the title, you can get this jagged performance on the games too. But here, let's go to the middle of the run. I guess you could say this is a bit smoother. So this is the Gen 4 run, and this is the Gen 1 run, which is kind of crazy, right? You would think it'd be even more jagged for being Gen 1. So there's a slight difference, but I mean, I totally just overlooked that. The numbers were, they looked so normal that I didn't even realize. Now, Assassin's Creed was one game that wasn't affected too much by it, but Starfield and other games were affected way more by it. So, yeah. That's what happened. Okay. Sorry, I had to just give a little brief background on it. But okay, so as you could probably see from my video, the what did you guys think of my graphics card choices? So I was only sent the 7700 XT, which I'm still very grateful for, by the way. This is not meant to complain or anything. I'm very grateful to even be able to be sent any hardware before they release. So I'm grateful for that, but it put me in a weird spot because the 7800 XT is only a $50 difference. So not having that to directly compare, because they're so close together, I felt like I was missing like half of the pie and half of the story. So I tested it in the best way that I could think of, which was to, I always like to show, I did this with the 4060, I did this with the, like the 4070, I did this with the 7600 as well. I always want to show last generation's equivalent card just to show the performance uplift. That's why I showed the 6700 XT. Yeah, Ish, I think you're right. I should have put the 6800 in there as well. I was thinking about it, but just due to time constraints as well as screen real estate, I decided not to, because the 6800 is priced pretty similarly to the 7700 XT. So that would have been a good comparison. So that if I could have gone back and changed that, that's one thing I would have added. So that's how I chose the 6700 XT. Now I chose the 4060 Ti just because that's what AMD was also comparing it to within their presentations. And it's priced appropriately, right? Between the $400 and $500 models of 8 and 16 gigabytes. I tested the 8 gigabyte because that's what I had on hand. Most people would agree that the 16 gigabyte at the $500 price point is the worst value of the two. Long term, it might be better because it has 16 gigabytes of VRAM. But if you were to tell someone to buy a $400 8 gigabyte 4060 Ti or a 16 gigabyte $500 card, I think the FPS per dollar, because right now they perform so closely, goes to the 8 gigabyte card. Like, I was looking up, I like Hardware Unbox's, I like their charts because it is very, their summaries are very nice, and I do trust their data. But if you look at where's the FPS per dollar charts? They had it on here, and when you take a look at it, power consumption, oh, here it is. Yeah, so if you okay, so here's the 15 game average between the 4060 Ti 16 and 8 gigabytes. So this is at 1080p. You're looking at 8 gigabyte to 16 gigabyte, what, 4 FPS difference? That's like 2 to 3%. Going from 112 to 116. That is, I mean, that is pretty close to like being negligible in my opinion. Now, if you go to 1440p, it's a similar story. 4060 Ti, 8 gigabyte and 16 gigabyte, you're talking about a 2 FPS difference across about 80 FPS. That is, to me, on paper, if you're gonna say one card costs $100 more than the other, then it's clear that the 8 gigabyte card is the better value. Now, obviously, over time, as they already dropped the price by $50. Nvidia did, but this was only recently that they did that to compete more with AMD. Not only that, though, I do agree that over time, the 16 gigabyte card is gonna last longer. But right now, for the games tested right now with the driver levels right now, if like when you're looking at comparison charts, you can almost look at both cards being one and the same on average. John, oh man, I need to show John's. So John sent me a DM with cause he works with Sapphire, and I just gotta show it. John sent me this earlier after I had mentioned that it sucked that I only got the 7700 XT. He got from Sapphire, which I would. For me, Sapphire has always been like the top tier brand for AMD side of things. Power Color is pretty good, but I personally, like, if you look at my Newegg invoice receipts and stuff like that, AMD cards, I have traditionally bought more Sapphire than other brands. Like my first few AMD cards that I bought brand new from Newegg were Sapphire cards, so they hold a special place in my heart. But yeah, John, I'm jealous. But yeah, very beautiful cards. I might hit you up to borrow some of these cards, maybe, if I want to do more work with these releases. But yeah. Oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah, can you remind me later on the stream for once we get to that section, Kevin? Because I still want to talk about the 7700 and 7800 XTs. So remind me once we get to the part where we're done talking about these GPUs. Mr. Guillotine, I need someone to send me a 7700 XT for reasons. Okay, so let's take a look at so the 7800 XT, I think it stole the spotlight for sure from the 7700 XT, just because the 7800 is that VRAM, I think, made the biggest difference. Performance, which sources have you guys gone to like kind of get a better idea of everything? I like watching Gamers Nexus videos. But the only, compared to Hardware Unbox, the way that they lay out the video and the games that they test, I'm not as big of a fan of. So like they did Starfield, which is awesome. But like Dying Light 2, I feel like this is a little bit more of an obscure title. I don't remember if they explained why they tested this. They probably have, because they're so detailed, in-depth, and stuff like that. But so Dying Light 2, Resident Evil 4 is fine. Total War Warhammer. I mean, and then they also test so Tomb Raider is pretty old by now. I personally don't care about Tomb Raider. I don't know how many people do care about Tomb Raider these days. Horizon Zero Dawn's fine, because that's a more modern title. Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker, they used a built-in benchmark. I think the benchmarking tool is pretty cool. I've used it before for things, but I mean, for testing, like, really high-end modern hardware, games like this are not that demanding. And I guess Endwalker is the newer, even though it is like newer expansion, it's not that demanding of a title. So let's see, F1 racing, I do Forza, but F1 is modern enough, so that's fine. So just between the two, I still love watching, you know, Gamers Nexus stuff because they do provide good insight and good data. But between the two, I generally lean towards Hardware Unbox, mainly for the titles that the titles specifically that they test and the way that they lay it out. I don't think Steve does an average chart. He does the percent improvement charts like this, but this chart, I think this is boom. This is the money right here for me. The problem with Nerd on a Budget video incoming. I know, right? Get Good Gray says, I find it funny that when Gamers Nexus tested the 7800 XT, the 6800 XT beat it on some titles, lol. Yeah, well, so that there's a number of reasons why that could happen, but I think on average they're close enough. It's weird because you would have to get into like some really deep, in-depth like side-by-side analysis, which a lot, you know, when channels just like show charts and stuff, it doesn't cover everything, why one card could be better than the other. But it kind of is weird too, like you get into situations where cards that, like there are situations where the 7700 XT beats the 4070, and that's a huge price difference between those cards. They're not even similarly priced like the 6800 and 7800 XTs are. But then there are other titles so that just the 4070 like completely beats the 7700 XT. So it's all a combination of how you test the card, like what portion of the scene, what game, what settings, and all of that. Plus, system configuration can probably have a minor role, but if everything is kept the same, then that shouldn't be too big of a problem. I guess with Smart Access Memory for the most part is resizable bar, except it's like AMD's little spin and secret sauce on it. So I haven't seen any data showing that Smart Access Memory is indeed better if you pair AMD with AMD, then resizable bar, because that's something that's pretty hard to prove, right? Because if you pair an AMD graphics card with an Intel and you don't have Smart Access Memory, you're also pairing it with a different chip. So you can't do a side-by-side comparison with like an AMD graphics card with both the AMD CPU and an Intel CPU. One has Smart Access Memory, which is kind of like resizable bar, and one with resizable bar that's not named Smart Access Memory, and show what gains you're getting from it. I have not seen any like studies or any data to show that. So in my mind, Smart Access Memory and resizable bar are one and the same. The 6800 XT does have more cores and such, but it's not, so core count as well as frequencies and stuff are different between the cards, but that's not the entire story when you have slight like architectural differences between the two. So yeah, that's another thing that you'd have to look at. There's so many variables that would make two cards that are so head to head with each other that it's not surprising that in some case, when the 6800 XT beats the 7800 XT, it's not by a lot, right? It's by like very slim margins. So I was hoping for like a 7600 XT or 7650 XT, maybe in the 350 range, my max budget, most likely, but that's not gonna happen. Honestly, in the 350 range, the 350 range, you're better off going with the 6750 XT. How much are these cards still? I feel like every week their price kind of slowly shifts a bit. So if you want, okay, stop showing me. Gosh, wow, wait, how much was that? Oh, that's a 6600 XT. You can get a $300 6700 XT used, or you can get a new one for $330 right now with Starfield Premium Edition worth $100. So yeah, if you're in the market for a $350 card, I mean, I think this is a no-brainer. Like, don't worry about getting the newest generation of cards. Last gen cards are still good if there's no direct replacement available right now, right? Like, obviously between the 7800 XT and 6800 XT, I would say, for me, easily, hands down, I would choose the 7800 XT any day of the week. I don't care if the 6800 XT beats it in some tests or it's like head-to-head with it. I'm gonna get the newest card possible if the performance is, you know, even if it's the same. Why would I get a 1 gen old card that has the same performance for about the same price? But because there's nothing really in the $350 to $300 price range, I think this is the card to get. The 7600, in a perfect world, the 7600 would have, you know, displaced this card, but it doesn't. So yeah, this is the one to get. Chris Coalition Gaming says, off topic, but I do have a 3D printer, Chris. I have the, what's it called? The Ender 5 Pro, I think. I forgot if I got it from Amazon or directly from the company, but I've used it to print a couple of brackets. Not much more than that though. I'm afraid to do long, complicated prints because my calibration is not the best, and on some of the details, I've had prints mess up and just waste filament and stuff while I was like away from it and things like that. And it's loud running in the background. I have it here in the basement near my PC setup, so I don't run it too often. I don't have any cool prints. I've literally printed the most basic like brackets so I can mount like my sensors and cameras and stuff around the house. That's the only stuff I print with it. I don't print like, you know, cool models and figurines and swords and dragons and stuff like that. Hey, what's up, Hazard Me? Will my Ryzen 9 3900 XT bottle neck the 7800 XT at 1440p? I'm planning on getting it later this year. No, I think that's a pretty fine pairing with it. Bottleneck's such a weird word, and we talk about this all the time. The definition of a bottleneck is restricting the performance of like another part in your system. But if you had a 3900 XT CPU and let's say you ran a game at with the 7800 XT at those resolution settings, that being the bottleneck means that if you put in a better card like the 4090 or 7900 XTX or something, you will not see an improvement in performance because it has already been bottlenecked by your processor. But that is not the case. If you had a 3900 XT running at 1440p, let's say max settings, because these cards are capable of doing it, going from a 7800 XT to something better, you will see an improved performance. Thus, I would consider that not bottlenecked. Yo, what's up, Adrian? You caught a stream after getting off work early. What is up? Do you watch the streams after the fact? Because for the people who don't know, these streams are there after the fact. I know it's not the same because I'm not live anymore and the chat isn't live, but if you need something to listen to in the background, feel free to just put on any of the like old streams and just listen to, you know, to it. I guess it's just me talking for the most part, but that could get annoying fast, I guess. Yeah, I would agree. It's more fun to listen live for sure. I would completely agree. Because then we can have interactions like this where I pull up your messages live and talk to you directly. Oh, Geek Squad has a 2070 Super right now and wants to get that 7800 XT. So, yeah, that would be a very big upgrade. And for $500, I mean, I think it's worth it. you know, if you could afford it. So have you guys noticed that there was not that many super large channel 7700 XT reviews this morning? So this morning, because I myself have the 7700 XT and not the 7800 XT, I was looking for specifically 7700 XT reviews so that I could compare my findings with other people's findings, right? And I couldn't find any because most of the majors only released 7800 XT videos to start with. Like, look, right now, so Steve only released this 3 hours ago, which was like, what, at 2 or 3 p.m.? Let me zoom in. So Gamers Nexus didn't release their 7700 XT review video until like 6 or 7 hours after embargo. But, so you have Kit Guru who had theirs on release, but like Hardware Unbox, they only did the 7800 XT. Jay's 2 cents only did the 7800 XT. So look at what I wrote right here. I wrote 7700 XT review, but because there was such a lack in like dual or solo reviews of it, look at this. Here's tech testers with 7800 XT. Not many people covered the 7700 XT, which kind of sucks for me as a person who only got that card. Here's I think this is a 4-in-1, so that's not relevant to me for watching. Here's my benchmarks on it right here. OC 3D TV, let's see. I didn't see this one, but here's another one that's only 7800 XT. So yeah, I mean, I get it. The 7800 XT, even from last week when we did our theoretical calculations, I didn't look at everybody's numbers yet. I guess I should see. So what I remember, we did the exercise where I looked at Hardware Unbox's numbers, and I looked at AMD's announcement numbers, and I back calculated that using Cyberpunk and what was the other game? It was Cyberpunk and Forza. I calculated that the 7800 XT will be 25% faster than the 7700 XT at only 10% more. Until Hardware Unbox releases their 7700 XT video, I can't confirm that because they are one of the only few that does like multi-game averages. So so I saw the Daniel Owen review. Daniel Owen did not really cover both cards, and this is not like a knock to him because Daniel Owen does good stuff. So if you look at did you watch the video or did you just read his title? If you watch the actual video, most of what he shows is only 7800 XT. He does have a part where he discusses the 7700 XT, but if you look at most of these numbers, like look on the screen. Well, you can't see it because it gets cut off at the bottom. But his video is mostly a 7800 XT with some mentions. Look, you can look on the screen right here. Like as we scroll through most of these, so he has 7700 right here. Wait, how did I miss this? Was I that tired that I totally missed the first portion of the video? So he has 7800. So second half is 7700. How many games did he test on though? He has Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So he has Baldur's Gate, Unreal Engine 5. Wait, where's the hit? So Daniel's the way he formats his videos is he actually controls like his talking head, which is really funny. But I think he does it. He must do it in OBS, but it's because it's a longer video and the way it's formatted. It's hard to go through and get the information you need very quickly, which is what I was trying to do this morning. So it looks like he does have he has like at least a few titles with the 7700 XT, but he doesn't have like a 10-15 game average, which is what I'm looking for, because I can pull up my numbers. Let me pull these up real quick. So here's the numbers that I got from it, and obviously it's gonna be different from everybody, but you get wide swings in performance between like the 7700 XT and the 4070, which is what I was mainly going for. I mean, you're getting like 6% better, 8% better, negative 12% difference. So all in all though, from my findings, the 7700 XT was pretty competitive with the 4070 in raster, that is, right? Across my 13 game average, raster only, I was seeing a 6% difference. Now, I think I have a pretty healthy mix of like non-biased titles. Some of them are biased, like Assassin's Creed is usually biased towards AMD. Apex, to my knowledge, isn't biased. Call of Duty, I think, might have an AMD bias, surprisingly. Cyberpunk is definitely Nvidia biased. Diablo is an Nvidia sponsored title. Far Cry, I think being Ubisoft, is AMD biased. Forspoken, I believe, is Nvidia biased from what I've seen. Forza Horizon, I don't know if there's a bias there, right? So, I mean, I feel like I have a decent mix of modern titles and no hard bias. But I wanted to see hardware unboxes videos because I want to compare in 1440p max settings my differences between the 7700 XT and the 4070, what they got. I only saw a 6% difference between the two cards, which, given the price difference between the 7700 XT and 4070, going from $450 to $600, that's 33.3%. That is massively better. Jason says, it's not a bias if it's Nvidia. That is simply the strong culling the weak. AMD is all biased though. This seems like a decent side grade for people with the 3070. You get more RAM, similar power draw, AV1 encoding, HyperX. Yeah, so here's my thoughts on it. If you had a mid-range graphics card from last season, from last generation, right? If you have a 6700 XT, 6800, 6800 XT, 3070, 3070 Ti, you don't need to upgrade. This is not a worthwhile enough bump up in performance to upgrade. Now, that's going to be subjective and variant, case to case, depending on the person. But I feel like if you're going to be upgrading from something like a 3070, why are you only going to be going for one of these mid-range cards? Why not bump up to like, either 4070 Ti performance level? I'm not saying 4070 Ti exactly because, the $800 value for that card is kind of questionable. But, or like getting something like a 7900 XT or XTX. That would be, I know it's because those cards are like, what, $700, $800, $900. But I don't know. It doesn't feel like a big enough upgrade for me to go like the next gen a half a step up. Yeah, and that makes sense. I think Daniel Owen, I don't know how long he's been making YouTube videos for. I feel like he's recently popped up, but he's been growing super fast, and his deep dive videos I think are really good. I think he teaches math, like he's a high school math teacher, so it almost makes perfect sense how he's like a numbers guy, right? So he's like a nerdy numbers guy, and I really like him because he does side-by-side comparisons, which is something that I like to do as well. I don't do the deep dive stuff, just because I don't know if people want to hear me talk for 30 minutes about like only a couple of specific CPUs or GPUs. But in terms of like his side-by-side performance, this is like, that is similar to what I like to showcase in terms of how I do my benchmarking. I don't just like to just show numbers on a chart. That's valuable, but I think it's also valuable to bring people to the space who do stuff like this, where you can see exactly everything's going on during the run. So yeah, I really like Daniel Owen's stuff. Citrus, what is up, dude? I'm telling you, man, my 1080 Ti for the win card is one of the best cards I've bought. Did you buy that on release? 1080 Ti, man, still using that, which is I'm gonna need a refresher. Let's see, Tom Tom's hardware GPU hierarchy. Once you start going back old enough generations, every once in a while you need a reminder as to what the heck the performance relative to each other is. So let's see if they have a 1440p Ultra. The 1080 Ti, which is worse than the 5700 XT, which 5700 XTs, think about it, is like you can get that in the used market for under 150 bucks easily, closer to like 120 or 130. So it's about 100. Yeah, so 2070 levels of performance, slightly worse than the 6600 XT. Kind of crazy, right? You're still using a card that is about equivalent to like a brand new $220 card in the 6600 XT. 1080 Ti's, didn't they find some of them in the pyramids? It's still kicking. Yeah, I mean, dude, old cards still work surprisingly well. Have any of you guys played with like GTX 970 or like a 1060 or anything in that RX 580s? I mean, if you look at this, they're at the bottom portion of these charts, but you can still game with them nowadays. I mean, sure, you're not gonna get the extra features like ray tracing and DLSS and all of that, but if you're trying to play games at like 60 FPS, you can make it work at the right settings and resolution, of course. Ever heard of what's up, Colin? Ever heard of a GPU maker? Yes. So Sparkle is not really in the U.S. market from what I've seen. Let me see if I can pull up their website. Sparkle, Taiwan. That's why. Just saw them on Amazon Newegg Intel Arc cards. Yeah. So Sparkle. Was it this card by chance? Yeah. So Sparkle is more dominant in. I'm thinking my association with them is like with the Asian markets. But you said you saw it on Amazon. Interesting how... Let's see what we can find. Sparkle graphics. I put Sparkle's graphics and it comes with freaking t-shirts. Sparkle! Okay, what the heck? Why is this one so expensive? Titan OC edition. Okay. Whoa. Let's see. Did they have A770s as well? Wow. So typing in Sparkle graphics card, you don't get much. You get some GT 740s. But yeah, it's just not predominantly in the US markets or North Americas at least. And I don't know about like South America or Europe or anything like that. But definitely in Asia. Thanks again, Amazon. What a great search engine, right? That box art looking like a UFD tech thumbnail. What, this one? Shauner says, did a bunch of builds with cards in that 970, 570, 580. Yeah, I mean, those were very solid budget. Like, you know, you can put them in $300-400 systems and you can get on with 1080p 60 FPS gaming for the most part. Elon Musk brand. Oh man, let's take a look at availability. So general consensus looks like, let me end the poll. Yeah, so we have 75% of the votes coming in at either okay or good, which is above like the median, right? So you would think, hey, yo, the Power Color Red Devil 7700 XT is already discounted $10. Wait, no, not, what am I saying? Sorry, I just confused it with the 7800 XT's $500 price point. Never mind. Why does this have a $40 premium? They got their, so doesn't look like any cards are sold out. If we were to look at the stock of 7700 XTs, whoa, look at this Steel Legend card. I mean, they're all free shipping. But, dude. Oh, man. Imagine trying to do like an all-white build. And let's look at all the white cards that you could even choose from if you were going to buy one of these new cards. Oh, these are black. So this is the only white card I'm seeing so far. I'm scrolling down more. That's it. From Newegg anyways. I think there might be other cards. Actually, no. This looks like we hit all the major brands. But if this was the only card you can get, and this is what was on the backplate, I think generally anyone trying to do a white build is looking for clean white aesthetics. I don't know of many people looking to do a white build and they want all this jumbled, garbled mess on it. I mean, if you look at the front side, this looks fine. It is a little interesting with like the kind of angles and geometric design they're going for. It definitely has like more, if it makes like cuts in it, if that makes sense. Like these cutting into what would otherwise be like a pretty square rectangular design. And I mean the fans, I'm assuming this is an RGB mode. You could probably set it to whatever color you want. So on the front side for the most part, and even on this side doesn't look that bad, but oh my goodness, they kind of killed the aesthetics with this right here. As a smoker, I would never get a white build. Do you? Oh, that's interesting. Do you smoke indoors next to your computer? I don't know much about smoking because for most of my life I've not lived with people who smoke and I don't smoke myself. But if you go outside to smoke, does that have any impact to the odor and stuff to the inside your house with regards to like rugs, furniture, your PC? Like smoking, if you just go outside to your, in front of your house or backyard to smoke every time, does that still have a lingering effect inside the house? Anyone know? It reeks into the carpet and AC. Yeah, but that's if they smoke inside, right? But if you smoke outside every time, like if you go outside to smoke, like to the front patio or the front of your garage or like, your back door, does that still over time make its way inside and kind of coat? If you smoke outside, you're good unless you want to kiss someone. Yeah, so if I don't see the issue then getting a white PC if you're a smoker if you smoke outside. Angry Alien, are you a inside smoker? Is that why you said that you would never get a white PC due to being a smoker? I would have to assume so. Inside, bro, why? Okay, so I don't want to like judge or anything, but aside from convenience, it feels like there's way more cons to smoking inside than outside. Just like if you live with people, there's a secondhand smoke aspect of it. There's basically any and all electronics or radiators or anything that the wall, just anything can get covered in like a film. I bought stuff from people who smoke, and this is not to like hate on smokers or anything, but like I bought like clothing, I bought electronics and stuff from people who did not mark that it came from a smoking household, like on eBay and stuff like that, or like on OfferUp. And then when I got it, it was clear that like it came from a smoking household. So it definitely gets baked into like a lot of stuff. So I guess what is the reason for you don't give an F? That's why you smoke inside. Okay, that makes sense. If you don't care and you understand, all the cons that come with smoking inside, specifically with how it like, attaches itself to everything that it touches, then that makes sense. Shauner posted some builds from a Steel Legend themed build. You did a whole build based on it. Stream submissions. Let's go. Wait, what card is this? Oh, is this a... Let's see. Had more pics, but someone in other Discord posted this. I wish I were picks, but someone in the other Discord. Okay, so this is someone else's build. What card is that? It looks like the exact same design, which, I mean, I guess is not too surprising. Because, here, let me see. Where's the... Give me 1 second. I want to pull out the 2 cards that I had. So these were the 2. So one of these cards is a 6700 XT, and one of the other cards is a 7700 XT. Can you tell which card is which? Based on... So the backplates, they actually changed between the 2 Hellhounds. Like you can see, this backplate has like this exposed section right here, and this one doesn't. And the Hellhound side's a little bit different, and then the cutouts kind of near here where it's the PCB ends, it's slightly different. But other than that, they're very similar looking cards. So I guess this other Steel Legend card using that exact same design is not too surprising. But it looks like between the 6000 and 7000 series cards, they're very similar. They look like identical twins. Yeah, so the newer one was this one, for whoever guessed it. It is the one with the slightly more intricate cutout at the cooler fins, as well as the cutout right here over the die, or where the die is. So yeah, this was the newer one, but for the most part, it looked almost identical, unless like you knew ahead of time. And they're both for the most part the same size though. They're honestly, these coolers on these cards for the 6700 XT and 7700 XT, it feels like they're a bit over designed. If you guys looked at the temperatures during my testing, I mean, these things were running so cool. Like, the coolers did not need to be this big. They could have easily reduced one of the fans or just made the heatsink a little bit smaller and used smaller fans. But this, I almost had a hard time fitting into my test bench case because I have a front radiator on that one. I've not dealt with any coil whine. No, I've overclocked mine. But yeah, I've not dealt with any coil whine on either of these Hellhound cards. But are you, either that's me being lucky, if it's the case that they are known for a coil whine. But does anyone else in the chat have a Power Color Hellhound card? Can you speak with regards to coil whine, if you have it or not? Bubble Tea Build says, I have to make a big decision to buy a 4070 Ti or 7900 XT tomorrow. But in the middle of recommending an upgrade for Starfield. Wait, is that 4070 Ti / 7900 XT for a build that you're doing for someone, or is that for you? I mean, between those two, I think I know what I would choose for sure. But if you're building for someone else, because I know you sometimes build for streamers or whatever, right? So I guess it depends on what their needs are. If you're building it for, I feel like most streamers, like Twitch streamers, if you were to try to part them together system, and this is just me making assumptions here and almost stereotyping, but I feel like they would say they want an NVIDIA graphics card for the reliability, because they're going to be using it to stream. Even though, I mean, have I ever had a stream just completely crash that was not due to internet related issues? Hey Danny, what are you running on your personal PC right now? I'm running the RX 6600 in my own personal build right now. I'm going to be upgrading or side grading it soon to Intel. I'm going to be using Intel graphics cards probably for the next foreseeable future, for my own personal system. I want to see if I can run into those bugs or weird stuff that, you know, people have been running into, because I did not run into them really when testing the cards, but that's different from day-to-day operations. So you did have some screen jank when looking at the Intel cards. Wait, was that today or the other day? If it was from today, I had weird screen jank even off of stream because of it's the Amazon overlays. I don't know if it's a Chrome thing or it's a, yeah, so anytime I was highlighting over something, something popped up on the screen that wasn't the window. So I wouldn't say that was a graphics card, like specifically like AMD encoder issue. Yeah, let me see if I can recreate that actually. Let me go back to Amazon. So we were looking at the Sparkle cards. Yeah, so when I do, yeah, so doing this looks fine, I think. Where was the, oh, there it is. It's when I go up to here somewhere. Yeah, which, I don't know what that is. Never seen that with NVIDIA? Well, we don't know because I actually have not streamed with an NVIDIA card, I don't think. When I started, what was I using? I'm thinking, let me see, let me open up Firefox and we'll see what's up. All these AMD haters, man. Now, I could be wrong. It could be... Oh, yeah. See, what the heck? Let me change the window. Okay, so we're gonna... What the heck is up with Chrome? So weird. Do you see all that stuff? Like, when I just go up and down like this on Amazon and here, it's doing that. But, let me change it over to this window. Yeah, I have to do scientific method because I need to know too. But let me change the window. Where is it at? Where is the browser window? Here we go. We're gonna go to the Firefox. So this is the Firefox window. So see, I'm going up and down like this. Nothing weird happens. So it's gotta be, it might be an AMD and Chrome interaction, or it might just be a weird Chrome thing and Chrome and OBS. Because I'm doing this right now and nothing weird's happening. Like, or yeah, it's a win for Firefox, says JG Wright, but yeah. So I don't know what's going on with it over there. And the weird thing is though, we looked at Amazon stuff for like the longest time with the same PC setup that I have, and I don't think I've ever recalled that happening. So not sure what's up in terms of it today. It might just be a weird, like, I don't know, this weird tab. Let me try the normal. Yeah, going on the normal Amazon. Whoops, I gotta change the window again. So like going on a normal Amazon page, nothing is wrong. It's just weird this specific window is doing this, which is kind of strange. Yeah, look, what is that? When I go to this tab on the exact same Chrome window, nothing weird is happening. Let me click on some products. Oh man, I'm looking at dresses now. What is this? Yeah, that's the weirdest thing ever, right? It's only that Intel Sparkle graphics card page that's doing it. It's not doing it over here. Very, very weird. Tough watching a man in denial. Bro, I'm not in denial. I just showed right there that it is this one page. Yeah, that's so crazy. Let me look up another graphics. Let me look up an AMD graphics card. Maybe it's just the Intel thing. Let me look up a 7700 XT. Yeah. Oh, it's doing it on this one too. What's up with these graphics card pages being weird, but not the dress pages? This is the weirdest thing ever. If anyone can explain this and have the actual concrete explanation, I'm down to listen because this is very weird. I did search something else. No, it's not a monitor going out because it's not happening on any other pages. Let me look up. Oh, I was gonna open something up today. I've been trying to shop for sling bags. So why does it happen on some pages but not others? Do I have hardware acceleration and Chrome enabled? Actually, let me check. On the upper right corner. So now that you mention it, let me see settings. I think I actually turned it off before because there was issues with, I think, Discord or something when the hardware acceleration was on or off. Let me see. How do I get to this? System hardware acceleration available. So I have it turned off right now. I remember specifically turning it off a few months ago. I don't remember why though, but I remember I was having issues in something where it was like either Discord or I don't think it was during a stream. Yeah, so I think it might have been the stream where I was actually sharing with a Brayathorn. I think when I was trying to show him stuff on my screen with Chrome, it was being weird. So I think it's a Chrome thing, but all you Nvidia fanboys could call it an AMD problem, I guess. But yeah, so sling bags. In terms of the graphics cards, 7700 XT versus 7800 XT, I think I'm gonna make a dedicated video because I haven't yet, summarizing all my thoughts. I'm still pretty scatterbrained due to the rush of having to retest everything in less than 24 hours and edit it for the benchmarking videos. But I do want to gather up my thoughts about it because overall, I think the 7700 XT is like a card that I could easily recommend to someone if they had $450, if they could not spend $500 for the 7800 XT, or if the 7800 XT was not in the picture. Standalone, it is a good card. It's just that the 7800 XT is a better card for not that much more. Those things don't have to be mutually exclusive. There's always, if you're going to compare multiple products, there's always going to be something that beats something else. Only one thing can take first place and someone has to come in second place. It doesn't mean the second place is necessarily bad though, if that makes sense. So I do want to summarize my thoughts on the 7700 XT. It is kind of unfortunate how AMD kind of priced them the way that they did and named them the way that they did. Most people are thinking the 7800 XT should have been called a 7800 non-XT. And then that would have been more according. And then they should have also lowered the price of the 7700 XT by like $25, if not $50. So yeah, I want to summarize all my thoughts once over the next couple of days and then make a dedicated video on it. So the 6800 XT, the only issue for me is that it's not like it's discounted that much more. Like 6800 XT, I think I checked this morning. Okay, something's going on with Chrome because okay, yeah, 6800 XT. If I want to sort by lowest price, so this is a 6800, which is more in line with the price of a 7700 XT. Here's an open box one, so we gotta sort by new. But the 6800 XT, look at it, the cheapest one that you can find brand new on Newegg right now, and it's probably because they shuffled the pricing. It's $500. It is the same price. Like, I don't see a reason to get this. Gnomed, oh my god. Jeez. Yo, Gnome, did you even say anything before you dropped all of those? What's up, Gnome? What's up? Thank you for the 50 gifted memberships. You just come in here and gift these memberships and don't even say anything. Dance, dance. You're such a troll. But I appreciate you. All the new members, thank you. It's basically like Christmas. How are you doing, Gnome? What have you been up to? Gifted membership troll bomb time. Exactly. How come you can't get a gift with that account, JG, right? Is it because you didn't activate it? W Gnome. Alright, we're gonna let this play for a bit. But in the meantime, while we're doing that, which is a perfect segue to me opening up this. Alright, so I want to actually kind of run a poll on this. I'm assuming that most of y'all watching out there, I mean, I would assume that at least 90%, if not higher, is like a male audience, right? But how do you hold your keys, wallet, chapstick, battery, bank, etc.? Alright, so how do you guys go about on your day-to-day lives when you leave your house and you have to carry, you know, your essentials with you, your everyday carries? Pockets, backpack. Wait, I'm not gonna do a poll. What am I smoking? I don't want to do a poll. I want to do a. Yeah. Yeah. How do I enter? How do I add more? YouTube. You killing me here with this. I think I'm gonna put other, but okay. So I have a big problem in that I love to wear sweatpants, and if you know, sweatpants generally don't have the best pocket structures for things like I don't use a wallet, I don't use a trifold, I don't use a bifold. Let me make sure none of my personal information is on here. Okay, I use a money clip. So I use a money clip. This slips out of my pocket when I'm sitting down in my car, when I'm sitting on a couch, when I'm sitting on a chair. So many times I have misplaced my wallet so many times because of putting it in my pockets. So I've been trying to, and sometimes my keys slip out of my pockets too. So I've been trying to transition into trying this crossbody sling thing. Because it's smaller than a backpack, but it's kind of like a fanny pack that you wear across diagonally, so it doesn't look as funny. But also, it's more adjustable than I would say, I guess, a fanny pack is. Especially with the fanny pack, like when you sit down, it like bunches up at like your stomach, right? So I already have one, so the way that I like to wear it though is around the back, right? So when I wear it around the back. So it looks like a small backpack, right? Like that. So it's like a small backpack that rides like right here. And then when I need something, I just go like this. Bam, pull it to the front, grab whatever I need, and I pull it back. You can call it a man purse. I like to think of it as to me it's more of a backpack because I don't wear it on the front. So when you wear it like this, it just looks like, you know, one of those. Remember back in the day when everyone had like one strap backpacks? Now, if I wore it like this, this definitely looks like it's more of a man purse. But I don't like having something out in my front, even though this is technically more secure. If you wear it like this, then no one could like pickpocket you, and it's more easily accessible. But I don't like the feeling of having it on my chest, so I wear it around the back. Now, ever since getting this one, and this one was a cheap one on Amazon that I just wanted to try out because it looked like it was decent, but there was problems with it, so I might return it just because Amazon has free returns. Like for clothing, anything you want, as long as it's in new condition still, right? But there's problems with this one that I did not like, so yeah. I bought this other one, so we're gonna just open this up because I'm kind of excited for it. Wear around your. So I was actually looking at fanny packs. I almost went the fanny pack route, but then I thought about it. I just don't want to have to take it off or move it or something every time I sit down, just because, you know, it bunches up so much right at the groin section. Not the groin section, but above it, the happy trail section. So I got this other one that is more of a symmetric design. Hey guys, check out my cool tech man purse lol. I know. So it's funny because if you think about it, what is wrong with a man purse? Let's just call it a man purse because I think it sounds funny. But what is wrong with a guy carrying a bag to carry his essentials? Because when you start to have battery banks and like cords and like chapstick and like other things like that, that's not gonna fit in your pockets. So you either go full-size backpack or you go like a what they call crossbody sling or fanny pack or whatever. Just call it something other than a man purse. I know. I like calling it that just like jokingly, but obviously because I'm buying it, I do see the utility of having a crossbody sling. So I bought this one because one of the big things about these is that depending on which way you want to wear it, left or right, you need to be able to attach it to and it has like, you know, metal durable clips and stuff like that. So that was pretty important for me choosing this one. Let me see if I can open this. Yeah, one of the important things that I was finding as I was trying out all these different bags is the ability for the bottom portion to be adjustable left or right. Because that's going to affect how when you wear it, if you are, you know, right diagonal or left diagonal. Another big thing for me was it needed to be double zipper. Double zipper because when I pull, let's say I wear this thing, right? When I pull this thing across, I want the zipper to be at this particular top end of it. Otherwise, if it's only a single zipper, some of the designs have the zipper coming from down here, and if I'm pulling up the zipper, stuff can just fall out. But if I'm pulling the zipper from here, things can't fall out because now I'm accessing it from the top. So, yeah. And here, this is what this one looks like on the back. I mean, I don't think it doesn't look like a man purse really, right? It just looks like a sling, as they call it. Bro, why are you carrying so much? You on vacation 24/7? No, so, I mean, phones dying when you're out and about is a very common thing just because I'm constantly using my phone at home and I don't always have it on the charger. So there's been many times where even me and Melissa, we're going just out for like half a day or even just like for a short amount of time, you know, half an hour, 2 hours. And mine or hers or both of our phones are like almost dying. So carrying a pack at all times is definitely something that I want to start doing, like a battery pack. But then also, for the most part, my wallet and keys are not safe in my pockets because of how, like, there are many times where when I go to the grocery store, I'm inside ready to pay and I realize I don't have my wallet because it slipped out of my pocket and is sitting on the seat of my chair, which is also pretty dangerous because if someone walking by my car sees my wallet on just the seat right out in the open, it's more likely for them to want to break into my car to steal my wallet real quick. So that's a missing wallet and damaged car window, right? So that, like, even though I'm not going to carry a ton of stuff in this bag, but I'm definitely going to carry keys and wallet for any time I'm going out for, you know, more than just 5 to 10 minutes at a time, but also just be able to carry a little bit more. I've consolidated my wallet, keys into my phone. Wait, what do you mean? Like you have a case that, but then doesn't that make your phone bulky? I have tried the thing for the phones where you attach it and you like slip stuff into it. But I mean, I don't know. I carry a decent amount of like, I have like my debit card, my credit card, me and my wife's credit card, ID card, my health insurance card, my round one card. No, I'm kidding about the round one. I carry like a little bit of cash. So like, I couldn't imagine putting like a clip like this onto my phone and have to use that at all times. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, that's what you mean, Jason. Yeah. So I've started using tap to pay more. I've started using tap to pay more, even though I'm not totally used to it yet. So I'm like half and half right now when it comes to paying with my phone versus like a card. And then, I mean, not everybody has a Tesla. Not everybody has a Tesla or a car that has a built-in key fob to their phone, Jason. I drive a 2009 crappy Toyota Yaris, so I have to carry separate keys. And then house keys. Is your house key also on your phone? What about like mailbox key? Unfortunately, we don't get mail delivered directly to our front door. We live in one of those communities that has like a shared mailbox. So there's that key. Then there's my private mailbox key at like pretty much my PO box. What else do I have on here? I'm trying to look at my keys. Yeah, so I mean, I have a number of keys that I still have to carry around in my car key fob. So and then that's a good point that I was also going to make. Adrian says, if you combine your wallet, your keys, and your phone, when you lose it, you lose all of them at the same time. In Jason's case, it's different because like he has digital, like the digital wallet losing thing, it's whatever, because you would lose it anyways, even if you carried a normal wallet and used that. The key thing, so it just depends, right? If you don't, I would feel like most people have a traditional setup like this, where you have a separate wallet, separate key, and a separate phone. One day, everyone will probably have everything digital on their phone or on their watch or whatever, but I feel like that is not the case right now. You shouldn't have to carry your mailbox key. You gotta learn to leave some stuff behind. Nah, it's because every time, when we're coming home, we stop by the mailbox to pick stuff up pretty frequently. So I don't want to have to go back home, grab my key, then go out to the mailbox, then come back. It's just more convenient to just like, boom, swinging by home, stop by the mailbox to grab the stuff, and then go back. Either way, I can't get rid of this key right here. I can't get rid of it because my car's not digital. I think you're still... Even if I only carried my car key and my key fob, that's still something I have to carry. And my house key, right? That's still stuff I have to carry. So the whole mailbox key, leaving that at home or in the car, I think that's still a moot point because I'm still carrying a key ring with me. I can't believe these are still going. Overall, though, this thing is pretty compact. We'll see. But yeah, when I go places and I don't need to look at my phone all the time too, I would also like to put it in here because I have had my phone slide out of my pocket onto the car seat and I've left it in my car like, you know, for hours at a time because I didn't need to check my phone and I didn't realize I didn't have it with me. So just having something that is larger to spot and I'll always be either wearing it or have it like, you know, at my nightstand or something, similar to why women carry a purse, I guess, it would be a lot more convenient. I bet you fill every bag slot in WoW every expansion. Heck yeah, I do. You gotta always be maximizing, you know, your... Dude, if we log on to WoW Classic right now and take a look at my bags and my bank storage, it is just filled with stuff. Be the stereotypical nerd who wears a big bag. Isn't that... So you know the LTT backpack? How much you want to bet there are people who carry that around every single day as their everyday carry bag? And that... Here, let me grab that. Like, imagine, look at the size difference. You got this right here versus this tiny little thing. there are people who probably carry stuff that's this big with, you know, I don't know. Mostly it would be for work in their laptop probably, and maybe camera gear, I guess. But that's way too big. Jason carries his LTT screwdriver. Oh, so I haven't shown my LTT screwdriver again yet. But so Melissa's into Cricut printing and stuff like that. So I come on, this camera. Pick up on the screwdriver. So yeah, I put my name on it, or I was just testing it out, and it's actually pretty durable. So this is just vinyls, cause she got a Cricut machine to do artsy craftsy stuff, and I tried it out, and yeah, I've been using this and putting my hands all over these letters, and they haven't been coming off. So I think I might redo it with nicer font, but now my screwdriver is more custom with my name on it. Yes, this is a Ninja Turtle themed screwdriver. It is like Raphael with the green and the slight red accents for the little headband thing that they wear, or the eye bands. But yeah. Pinky Tech. Yes, I did get that too. Thanks for the reminder. So I actually just picked this up the other day because they never sent me the message. So my private mailbox, which is not at P.O. Box anymore, at USPS, I got one because UPS is closer to my house and is more convenient. So I got a private mailbox there, it's essentially a P.O. Box except for UPS and not USPS. So they text me every time a package comes in, but they did not message me for this one. So I did pick it up the other day though, because I was there and I checked it. Let me make sure my address, actually it doesn't matter because it doesn't have my actual house address on it. Let me unbox this trophy from when I did that $400 PC Tech build challenge against the Net Guy, PC Tech Hustle, and Pinky Tech. Let me try to open this up nicer just in case. Where's my... If I can find my box cutter... Here they are. Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna hide it so that nobody can see any address. No addresses are seen. If I can get this thing open. So this is the trophy for the winner, even though I feel like I wasn't truly the winner. It could have gone either way depending on how it was scored. So so we got a note from Pinky Tech. Hi Danny, sorry it's taking so long to get it shipped out. I guess I just didn't want to admit that you were the better builder. In all seriousness, thanks for jumping into this competition with us. I had an absolute blast. I wanted to make this handwritten, but also wanted you to be able to read it, so I'll just autograph it for you. Yeah, so he typed out a note, which was very nice and personal. All right, let's see this. Let's see this trophy. We did show it off during the stream. All right, we got a bunch of like wrapping tissue paper. Ooh, so I'm not gonna be able to hook this up to get it to spin. Wow. Look at this. So let me see if I can get this. So here's the trophy. Okay, let me see if I can get a better... So, yeah. Let me get on the droid cam so that you guys could see better, because my webcam does not like to cooperate. Where's the droid cam? Here it is. Bam! Okay. So, there's you guys. And there's the different windows. But here's the trophy. we have the $400 gaming PC challenge champion. That's me. And then this spins because it's sitting on an AM4 stock Wraith stealth cooler. It's got some memory sticks sticking out here. It's got, what did you use to stuff this on the inside? I think you're just filling it with things, is what it looks like, and glue. So yeah, I imagine if I plug this into a motherboard header, because of how fast fans spin, this thing might rip right off of it. So, yep, there it is. There it is. Thank you for sending this over, by the way. Now I need to put this onto my wall of like my display of AMD and Intel processor boxes and stuff like that. Yeah, even just so, because it's not perfectly centered. Yeah, if I plug this in, there's a little bit of a rocking, right? Because it's slightly off-centered when the weight hits like a certain part of the rotation. Yeah, this thing would fly off. So I'm not gonna plug this in. But very cool, very cool. Some foam and SATA cables, what you used. Okay, I thought I saw SATA cables. Okay, so Kevin wanted me to pull something up real fast, so I will do that. Kevin, do you have that post still? Let me see where you post. Let me see, I can probably find it. Let's see, where's that image? Okay, so Kevin wanted me to pull this up, and we can talk about this. So, this is from a Tweaktown article for warranty scores. How often does a product of this brand in the graphics card category specifically have a defect within the first 24 months? And then the warranty case duration. So how many working days on average does it take to process a warranty claim through these companies when it arrives at the service unit? So so this one, they specifically said in the graphics card category. So we can look at this as graphics card failures or defects within the first 2 years from these companies. But for the warranty case duration, it does not specify whether or not this is a graphics card warranty claim versus anything else that these companies might make, like motherboards, RAM, or SSDs, whatever. You know, you have all these different companies. So the lowest defect rate was Gainward, which is not a predominantly US-based brand. Lenovo was really up there, but see, in the graphics card category, this must be talking about notebooks then. Palette, also not a US predominant brand, but we do have PNY as one of the top. If we're looking at like specifically graphics cards, right? Yeah, all these top ones, Inno3D, not a very, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can find Inno3D stuff on Amazon. Let me see. Let's take a look. Let's go back to messed up Amazon and see if it does that. Like, you can find Inno3D stuff on Amazon, but I mean, I wouldn't say we are their primary market by any means. It's here, but look at it. Let me look at the pricing for it. 4070 Ti, okay. I mean, pricing seems pretty normal, but I think they have a stronger presence outside of the US. But we go back to here. I would like to, Shauner says he would like to know how the data is collected. Yeah, me too. Kevin, did you have a link to the original article so I could take a look at it as well? Because I don't think you linked it. I think you posted the screenshot and then you said it was from Tweaktown. But I don't think you posted the actual article. Maybe I can look it up if you can't find it. But, so you go down, AMD has, so if you split this chart in half, then, wow, we have a lot of tied 8th places. Let me move my face real quick. Can I move my face? Yes, I can move my face to right here. Let's see, you have MSI KF2A2. Oh, okay, you got the article. Thank you. Gigabyte Sapphire. So 2.5%. That also was surprising to me too, Shauner. Let me open up that link. But that was also surprising to me because I had never personally heard of Sapphire having any higher failure rates. And maybe, I mean, this could be considered almost like noise. So even EVGA, which is pretty, renowned, at least for their warranties, but in terms of failure rate, this is like pretty hard for us as a community to determine just based on Reddit posts and forum posts and stuff like that. Like, we don't have the hard data. All these numbers are still pretty low though. Even Sapphire being at the highest, 2.5%, that means 97.5% of like a good card not having a defect within 2 years. I think that's still pretty good. ASRock, XFX, like these three, they're all within 0.5% of each other. Even going down to comparing EVGA to Sapphire, they're within 0.7% of each other. Not even a percent difference in their, defect failure rates within 2 years. So this being higher on this chart is kind of misleading because the x-axis is like very much 6% or something. If you were to put this on a 100% chart, all these numbers would be like noise almost. In terms of warranty response period though, that's another pretty interesting one to look at because I mean, you hear good stories about some of these companies, like EVGA being 10 days. That surprised me because I have filed for multiple EVGA RMAs from, I guess, B stock units that I bought that came dead on arrival. And the response period was definitely within a week for me. But that was back in 2017, 2018, 2019-ish time frame. Maybe that could have changed. But let me look at the Tweaktown article. All right, the largest Swiss online retailer publishes data covering defect rates and warranty claims. All right, so we have to keep in mind, this is one single source of information. One online retailer, Digitech Galaxus AG, is the largest Swiss online retailer covering all corners. Yo, can Newegg publish something like this, or can Amazon publish something like this, just so that we can get an idea? Cause yeah, this is what the heck? Why is it? Oh, I gotta hit the X. And so not only is this just Europe, this is only one country. A la carte Sparta says, how good is NO3D? They worry me, honestly. I've never used the NO3D card. I've never had one in my possession. I've never tested one, so honestly, I don't know much about them. Has anyone here used the NO3D card? I'm gonna end the poll for the man purse question. I don't know why I like calling it a man purse. I think it's because I'm still new to the idea of wearing like a crossbody sling or some type of bag as an everyday carry. So to me, when I first started seeing them, I was like, oh, that's a man purse. So in my mind, I have not shifted my mindset to calling it a less, what's it called? A less, not derogatory, but a less poking fun at name. Jason had to RMA his Steam Deck and RG Ally recently. From first contact to delivery, Asus took 21... You're talking about 21 days, not business days, right? The thing about business days versus actual, full days is that if you are caught on a weekend, you could add 4 days. Like, from Saturday to the next Sunday, that could be 4 days worth of non-business days that could screw over numbers like that. But... Valve took 8. Either way, yeah, it sounds like Valve just took care of you way faster. but both first contacts were Thursdays. So from Thursday, so that would only be 1 weekend in 8 days. In 21 days, that is a lot more. So Chase Atwood says Asus took over 30 days for my motherboard. That sucks because most people I think have like one computer at their house that they use, and then they also don't carry spare parts on hand. So if your motherboard fails, your computer is basically down, and you have two options. You could either wait 30 days in some of the worst cases, like Chase had to do, or you just say screw it, Amazon Prime yourself a next day or 2-day delivery and have your computer up and running. And it kind of sucks that the longer companies take, the more people lean towards the second option of spending more money when they shouldn't have to if a product is still under warranty and failed prematurely. So yeah, if your computer goes down, actually, I want to run another poll. We need to do more polls. Alright, simple question for you guys. If a part in your PC failed, like right now, would you have a spare PC or spare parts to get back and running instantly? Like, we're talking within 30 minutes to an hour. Very curious. Or is your PC your one and only lifeline and you don't have any extra PCs or any spare parts? It seems like a lot. At least half of the people in the community are saying yes. Kale130 says, that's a good reason to have a laptop as a basic backup if you need it. That is true. Bonus points if it's a gaming laptop, because even though it might be an underpowered gaming laptop, I've always been of the mindset is I would rather be able to game at like 1080p low settings than not be able to game at all for 30 days if that's how long it takes for them to get back to you about a broken motherboard or any other part. Like, if I had to go 30 days, yeah, I'm cool with the low end PC, like low settings, low FPS. Being able to play anything at all is better than not being able to. Being able to just browse the web and use a computer. You have your phone, but phones is not the same thing. Sometimes even though I have my phone on hand in bed laying down, I'm just like, screw it. What I need to do is way quicker on a computer, so I would get out of bed and go to the computer and do it. So yeah, a phone can do a lot of things, but it can't do everything that a computer can, and is not always as convenient. Kale130 says, I'm likely just replacing. Okay, so even though you are under warranty, you would rather just replace it just to have a more like quick turnaround on getting your PC back up. Yeah, Kevin O says he's got 2 laptops to hold him over. Daniel Hulan says has a laptop but no spare parts, so the desktop would be down and you would be on the laptop until it gets fixed. Jeremy Martinez says, I miss fries because now I gotta go to Best Buy to buy hardware. Honestly, fries was hit or miss. Best Buy, I would say, has some pretty fair pricing on PC parts nowadays. They don't have the best when it comes to, let's say you're looking for like a peripheral or something. Maybe they don't have the best prices on monitors or like mice and keyboard. But if you're just buying like pretty standard stuff, Like, their graphics card prices are pretty in line with Amazon and things like that. The only issue is that Best Buy online has a way better selection than Best Buy in store. If you go to Best Buy in store, yeah, it might be questionable, like SSD and RAM choice. They might only have some of the more pricey or expensive stuff, as opposed to if you look at Best Buy online, they have pretty competitive prices with Amazon and Newegg. A lot of people I talk to that have to RMA products buy a new one. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense because you can't just be out of a computer for 30 days. That's kind of not reasonable. And that sounds so like a privileged position, like, oh, you have to have a computer. But I mean, I don't think it is. If you've built, you know, your lifestyle around using a PC every day, whether it be for work, or for anything, or for gaming, or for entertainment, that's just, you know, it's a part of your life. So not having it for a whole month, that's huge. And buying a product and then having to sell it at kind of a loss because you're not going to recoup all your costs. No one's going to buy a used product at new prices. So it's almost like you're renting it in the meantime. You sell it and you take, what, $20, $30, $40 loss? So then within that, it was like you were renting it for those 30 days. Y'all see that $400 gaming laptop at Micro Center? Which one? This must have hit Slick Deals. If it... looks like it's not coming up. Here, let me see if I can find it. Is it on their website? Like, can I just find it easily? You said gaming laptop, right? $400 gaming laptop. That means dedicated graphics. Or at least APU. Not no Intel HD graphics. Oh, Shauner with the link. Thank you. Alright, let's take a look at this. Down from $660. We've got a 3050 and 16 gigs of RAM. Okay. It's a Gateway, which is not the first brand I think of when I think of a gaming laptop, but yo, this is super solid, and it's got an i5 in it. Yeah, this seems like one of the things that is, yeah, what the heck, not available for pickup. Wait, do I have to, let me set a store. Let's do Tustin, California. Not available. Yeah, so this must be just sold out, huh? Wait, it says 25 new in stock. Why can't you do for pickup or shipping? It says 25 new in stock, just available. Sean, Shauner, you're in Denver, Colorado, or that's your Micro Center store. Yeah, they have a bunch in stock is what it says. Oh, I mean, yeah, but it looks like they're readily available, according to this thing, if it's accurate at all. I would think so. Dude, this is solid. I mean, what complaint can you have about a brand new 400? Dude, I have... let me look at the used market real quick. Let's take a look at the used market. If I wanted to find an RTX 3050 laptop, how much is that gonna run me? For a used one, 1 terabyte SSD, 16 gigabytes. This one's an MSI Pulse one. This is actually kind of surprising to me. Laptops in general, I didn't think they would be this cheap already. But this is the only one that's priced like this. Everything else is like 600, 700, 600. Wow, this one, dude, Shauner, screw the Micro Center one. This one comes with a 1 terabyte SSD and it's not a Gateway. I have nothing against Gateway, by the way. I just, I have preconceived notions of them just because they are not your traditional gaming laptop brand that you would think about. Laptop depreciation is kind of insane. Yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah, because laptops, dude, you're not replacing parts in a laptop. Like, if you're trying to replace a main board in a laptop, it's gonna cost you like half the price of it. You might as well just get an upgrade if you use it for long enough. This user has 0 ratings. They have 0 ratings, but like new condition, charger 3-month Game Pass. Yeah, actually, you make a good point. This might be a scam account. It joined September 2023. Yeah, it's a fake. You're right. This was updated 1 hour ago. I bet you this, yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, I would put money on this being a scam. Pinky Tech says, I'm still traumatized by our family Gateway from 1997. Yeah, I mean, when I think of Gateway, I think of like the PCs that either our schools had or the pre-builts that I never personally owned a Gateway. We had Compaq from Costco growing up, but I had other like friends who their family PC was a Gateway PC. Yeah, this is definitely okay. This is definitely too good to be true. So this don't count. Yeah, because everything else is for even a 3050 laptop is priced pretty high. I'm not seeing much less than this one. Might be fake too. The account is relatively new. Oh, they have 1 rating, but dude, 1 rating could be fake though. It is very easy for people to make fake offer-up accounts, pretend like they sell stuff to each other, and rate each other. So you gotta be careful, even if they do have a rating. I mean, they don't have a profile picture. Unless they're meeting in person. Their feet are in the picture, so maybe it's real. They got the feet shots in here, I don't know. Gateway looks like a NASA PC compared to my Chromebook my school gave me. Dude, I don't know. What is the general consensus on Chromebooks? Do people like Chromebooks or do they think it's e-waste? I've never used like I've never personally used Chromebooks in my daily life, and when I was in school, Chromebooks weren't really a thing. So I know they use Chromebooks in schools a ton, but don't they have like horrible, like they're not super durable and they're not very repairable and stuff like that? And now one of the big issues with Chromebooks, they're not e-waste friendly. The only time I've used a Chromebook was when I saw them at like Costco or Walmart or Target or wherever the heck that was trying to sell Chromebooks, and I was dinking around on them. But I've never personally owned or sought to own a Chromebook. I think at that point, yeah, the Chromebook is so halfway to a laptop for me. I would rather just get a like, I know they're not the same price, right? Chromebooks are meant to be like what, $200 or something, and any decent laptop starts at around at least 400, if not $500. If you want like more capabilities out of it than what a Chromebook will give you. But yeah. Chromebooks are for basic use and gateways to installing a better Linux desktop. Chrome OS equals no viruses, bro. I don't remember the last time I got a Windows virus. But I guess I am not the norm or average user or person or even like age group. Like a Chromebook, if you think about middle schoolers, high schoolers, and what they do and what they search up, yeah, maybe having no virus issues is like a pretty big factor in it. But once you become like what I feel like a responsible adult, not going to websites you shouldn't be going to, viruses aren't really a problem to worry about. Okay, how have we already been going for 2 hours and 10 minutes? This is how every stream is. Can you change the color of the lights? Come on, change. Nope, it's not gonna change. You mean you don't click on... Oh, dude! Alright. Speaking of random... let's see, TechSpot. Even... So, TechSpot... And I think we've talked about this before, but I forgot because I have horrible memory. But, you know how TechSpot has like a... They kind of like... have a relationship with Hardware Unboxed. I don't know the full details of it, but I just know... Hardware Unboxed and TechSpot, they like post reviews together, and Steve writes articles on TechSpot, right? They seem to work pretty closely together. I go on TechSpot sometimes to download software, like downloads. So they have like a whole download like repository where you can get any program you want here, which I guess I feel like sometimes might be safer because sometimes Google, people make unofficial websites that look like official websites so that they could try to get you to download like dirty versions of software to like give you malware or viruses or stuff like that. So going through vetted sources, like let's say TechSpot, when they put Discord on here, it might be safer than going to discord.com or Discord on Google. So this is obviously the real Discord, but there's other programs that sometimes when you search it up, you don't, like let's say WinRAR. Isn't WinRAR one of them? win./rar.com. This isn't the official WinRAR website, right? It's RARLab. RARLab is the actual website for WinRAR, and this, at least I don't believe it is. If you go to their Wikipedia, it lists RARLab as their official website. Yeah, see, rarlab.com right here. But I mean, I'm not saying this one's a dangerous link. I'm just saying this is what can happen when you try to download programs. There are other websites that aren't the official one that could try, you know, to have it. So, let's say you go here. But, speaking of download links, like, let's say I want to get Google Drive. If I click download now, Windows, there's Opera, like, TechSpot, I feel like I've gone to some of their download sites or pages, and they had multiple download buttons, like, you know, when they have those ads that have download that try to get you to click them. I came across that here. Let me see. Macrium Reflect TechSpot. Let me just try something that I would normally. So TechSpot, Macrium Reflect. Downloads. Okay, let me see. Is there any other... I could have sworn I just ran into this recently. If I want to download for Windows, I click there. So it has all this. It's already downloading. Okay. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, or I was looking at a different older page. MSI Afterburner has a virus fake website too. Do they? What? Let's see. So if you look up MSI Afterburner, there's MSI after. Okay. Guru 3D is a place where I've gotten it in the past before. Furmark. Okay, so Chase Atwood says Furmark. If I want to get Furmark, you got the Geeks 3D. And I think this is the official one. But let's say if I'm trying to download, let's go to try to download Furmark. Okay, accept all cookies. Let's say I want 1.35. So this one seems pretty straightforward. Download from their official servers. Yeah, this is the official Furmark. So this one worked just fine. There's nothing wrong with Furmark from what I just did anyways. But I've definitely come across some sketchy ones where even I didn't know what the correct one was. Was it Crystal Disk Info? Was this the one? I really want to find it now. So you go to Crystal Disk Info. If you want to download something, you click download. Oh no, theirs is pretty straightforward too. I can't find it. I don't know what was the program that had that was kind of like embedded in kind of sketchy looking stuff. Yeah, because all this is pretty straightforward. It was something similar though. DDU is the program you use 24/7. Let's see what DDU looks like. So DDU. What is the official DDU website? Is it Wagnersoft? Let me see this. I think I usually get it from Guru 3D. I don't know. Let's look at this Wagnersoft. Yeah, this isn't it. But wow, that came up in close second. Do they say on the DDU who? Let's see. Display. I'm trying to look on here who it's developed by. Does DDU have a Wikipedia? GitHub. DDU. No. Oh, here it is. DDU. Popular. GPU removal tool. So there's no. Here it is. Nope, there's no wiki page. Someone needs to make the wiki page. Wagnersoft is the one. I have a feeling it might be. DDU is an application that's programmed by. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna. Ghislaine, Harvey, aka Wagner, in our forums. So yes, it looks like Guru's 3D is the one that always pops up, but this one looks like they are legit as well. Yeah, no, this happens all the time. I found many of programs where the first one is not the official source of the software I'm trying to download. Yeah, Wagsoft looks a little bit, it looks less, for some reason, it looks less official, but it's just because most of us are probably used to Guru's 3D. A little press plate website. Yeah, so there's software, DDU. Oh, man. Okay. It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. I don't know what Melissa's doing. She might be sleeping, but she should be hungry right now because I am also starving right now. So, let's just hang out for the last 5 or 10 minutes before I go have dinner. Before I go have din-din. What is up with everybody in chat? How's the Hyte Revolt 3 been? Been looking to downsize. I love the Hyte Revolt 3. I'm going to be changing cases from it just so that I could try out this Corsair case, the 2000D that they sent me. But it's not because I do not like their Hyte Revolt 3. It's just, I like to switch it up every once in a while and experience other cases. And I'm definitely lucky enough to be in a position where I can. Because it's not, that's not something I would encourage if, you have to constantly spend money to hop cases, unless that's just your thing. But because I'm in a position where companies want to send me PC cases, like the most out of everything. And I don't even, it's hard for me to work through all the content to, use different cases. So I have to be pretty selective, but, yeah, I'm going to be changing cases, but, I mean, this case, I don't have any major problems with it. It does have limited radiator support, so if you're trying to go a 3-fan or something like that, you can't fit it, whereas the Corsair 2000D I'm going to be going into can. This can run a bit warm if you have really hot components. But I mean, it's an ITX case. That's the situation a lot of the times. It does have airflow, but you're just limited on how much cooling and space you have in here. You're planning on going air cooling? No, you can't. You pretty much cannot go air cooling in here unless you have a pretty chill cool running chip. because you're gonna have to go for a low profile cooler, and even the best low profile coolers, they're just not as good as tower coolers or as AIOs. Like they can't be. Like they're just so limited in how much metal that they could fit into the volume, right? Shauner, let's see, what do you think? I have a system with a 10600K and an RTX 27 Super, the word that won't post. Went from a Super to one stick, trying to a BIOS update right now. So I've run into a problem like this before, Shauner. So you can get to BIOS but can't get into Windows setup with it. I don't know if do you have another CPU you can try? I've had a CPU go bad where it allowed me to get into BIOS. It let me do whatever I wanted within BIOS. It let me do a BIOS update on it. It let me do BIOS downgrade. But as soon as it hit, it even let me install Windows. But as soon as it tried to log into Windows, it would crash the computer every single time. It would blue screen or it would come up with the startup repair and things like that. And it was the processor that was the problem. As soon as I put in a different processor, everything worked just fine. It wasn't the motherboard an issue. It wasn't the OS install. It wasn't RAM. It wasn't nothing. It was the CPU, which I've never run into a problem like that until I ran into this. That the CPU was not able to get into Windows, probably because once it had to start like computing, it had issues. But yeah. So, this is where it's so handy to have multiple sets of hardware so that you can like swap around things to pinpoint it. But if you have another processor, I would say that might be a solution, and it might be the processor that's the issue. But with hardware issues, it can be anything, right? So. Adrian, oh yeah, I would say if you have a 5600 non-X and you're already running negative PBO offset to run it undervolted and cooler, then you should be fine with a low profile cooler. You don't need an AIO, you don't need a tower cooler. Just get the best one that you can though, because still the low profile coolers, for what they are, they run warmer than what you would be used to in a non-small ITX build. Shauner's getting a UEFI interactive shell black screen and you get stuck there. Let's see, BIOS update doesn't work. You already tried different RAMs. You think it's the motherboard? So yeah, either motherboard or CPU would be my guess. What CPU do y'all think pair best with the RTX 3060? You've been wanting to upgrade from a 2600. I feel like a 2600 and a 3060 is not the worst pairing in the world. But I mean, assuming you don't want to change motherboards and you want to keep your RAM and everything, a 5600 or 5600X would be my suggestion from a 2600. That's 2-generation jump. You're gonna do it? Yeah. I mean, if you got a work meeting in now, what, less than 25 or 20 minutes, probably not gonna be able to fix it by then. Daniel Hulan. Oh man, we gotta go soon, or we gotta finish soon. But now that you bring up 14th gen Intel, I haven't been following 14th gen Intel super heavily, but I was seeing murmurs on the internet saying that 14th gen is still gonna be on the 1700 socket. Can anyone confirm or deny that? Yeah, has anyone else heard that they're actually gonna be doing a third generation on the same socket, which I feel like, I mean, ever since the Core I series, they haven't done that. Shauner's 95% sure it's gonna be, so that's pretty big. Whether it doesn't seem like there's 100% concrete confirmation though. 13th gen refresh. Ryzen barely did 3 gens. Wait, what do you mean? Ryzen barely did 3 gens. 1, 2, 3, 5. That's 4 gens. Yes, I count the refreshes because everything of Intel's would have been a refresh gen as well. Everything I've heard is it's on the same socket, but it's not much of an improvement over last since it's just a refresh. Yeah, I mean, that's not any different than from like Skylake to KB Lake or like 8th to 9th gen for the most part. Intel copying AMD's homework. Intel back to TikTok. Well, now it's going to be TikTok talk. 14th gen is LJ 1700. But why did you say it's a no-go, Daniel Hulan? Yeah, well, there's... Do you count 4000 series stuff? I guess you should. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Let me. I don't even remember all the Ryzen 4000 series CPUs, but there was a time there where they were kind of only meant for OEMs and stuff like that. So I don't know. I guess that still counts because it existed, but it wasn't like super readily available to buy. MSI leaked some information on how to handle talking about 14th gen. Huh. Oh, you meant it's not worth the upgrade? That's by no-go? Okay, yeah. Mino42 says 15th will be Arrow Lake and will be a game changer like 12th gen was. I personally felt like 10th gen was kind of a game changer because of the core count changes. Like, I thought that was huge. Finally going to give i3 users 8 threads. I thought that was very big, but... Yeah, there's a 4600, 4600G. Those were... I feel like those kind of flew under the radar. Yeah, there was a 4100, 4500 that were released later, which were cut down versions. To be honest, when I think of AMD CPUs, those don't come to my mind. That's why when I counted, I went 1, 2, 3, 5. Like I did not count the fourth one deliberately. Yeah, 10th gen i3 was a game changer for sure. Only the i7 gets a core increase, but it's not that big of an increase. Yeah, especially too. Like how many? I feel like most people out here, if given a choice for an upgrade, let's say you have a well-balanced system, right? So it's not like your CPU super old or your GPU super old either. They're all relatively modern and working well together. If you were to give someone a choice to either upgrade your GPU or CPU, I feel like, especially if you're a gamer, you're gonna lean towards the GPU upgrade. So like, I mean, people who are still rocking even like 9th gen, 8th gen i7s and stuff like that, they could still game and hang using modern, recently released cards. It's not like a huge issue. anything else I want to talk about before I get on out of here? Yeah, so in terms of upcoming content, I am gonna make a dedicated review video, or I plan to, unless I just drop the ball and just go completely, you know, just stick with the raw benchmarks video. But I do want to sum up my thoughts on the 7700 XT in the next few days in a video, and then after that, some fun content coming up, and then we have our next LAN party in a little bit over a week and a half. It's not this Friday, but next Friday is going to be our next LAN party, which is going to be at my house. So next week's stream is going to be the pre-LAN stream. But yeah, that's what I have coming up anyways. More YouTube Shorts content as always. But yeah, I guess other than that, though, I hope everyone had a great stream. Thank you for being here. Always fun, as always. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your evening or day, wherever you are in the world. Have a great rest of your week, and have a great weekend coming up. And yeah, I'll see you on the socials. Join the Discord if you haven't yet. If you want to catch me there, I am in there pretty frequently, at least every day, I would think. But yeah, you can catch me there or on Twitter or in the YouTube comments. So have a good night, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.